I want to have a quick conversation with you this morning about self-managed super funds. I want to share with you a student success story, a really cool case study from a couple of TMAP students. So we've got a husband and wife, joined teaching about property, and they decided that they were going to use the self-managed super fund strategy to be able to get into the property market. So when they joined, they had about just over $300,000 in their supers combined. They decided to set up a self-managed super fund and they purchased a couple of properties. So the first property that they purchased was a unit here in Sydney, studio apartment. They purchased that property for about $409,990. The second property that they purchased was a one-bedder unit up in Brisbane. Right? They purchased that property for about $391,500. So when they first joined Teaching About Property, they didn't own property. They had just over 300K in super, and they decided to set up a self-managed super fund, and they acquired two properties, two humble properties, nothing crazy, nothing sexy, but well within their means, well within their budgets, and they were very comfortable with it. Just over $300,000 as their initial super balance, and they acquired $801,490 worth of property. After the purchase, the studio apartment that they purchased is now valued at $527,000, and the one-bedroom apartment that they purchased is now valued at $526,000. They have a total property holding within their self-managed super fund of $1,053,000. But here's the cool part. Because they went conservative on the purchase prices, they've actually still got $105,000 in cash sitting in their super fund. So total asset holdings inside of their super at this stage is $1,153,000. And that, remember, that's gone up from an initial holding of only around $300,000. So just a great way to use gearing, self-managed super funds, still being humble on the purchase, not going too crazy, and just being really conservative, but ending up with over $1.1 million in assets from a starting point of just over $300,000. But while we're talking about self-managed super funds, one of the biggest mistakes, now there's lots of mistakes that we can make, but one of the biggest mistakes that I see students make when it comes to self-managed super funds is they don't make time for their own success. Well, okay, Massey, what does that mean? It means students hear the strategies. They watch all of the videos, they get all of the training, and they're super duper excited about setting up their self-managed super fund. But they don't make time for their own success. So what does that look like? It means they're excited, they bought wholly into the outcome, they want $1 million plus in property inside of their portfolio, and they're excited, but they don't take action. They get so busy that they miss meetings, you know, with the financial planners, with the companies that set up the actual super funds. They don't make time for their own success. They get caught up in their own lives that they can't make time for their own forward progress, their own wealth creation, and their own success. So days go by, weeks go by, and sometimes even months. And the students who were super excited about this possibility for them to get into the property market and become successful through the self-managed super fund strategy haven't even set the fund up because they haven't made time for their own success. We have a saying at Teach Me About Property, action takers are money makers. If you want to be successful, you have to make your success a priority for you and your family. If you don't take steps up the mountain, you will never get to the top of the mountain.
As long as you're with TMAP and you've got mentors, they're helping you along, you've got a network of people, it's going to be easy for you. It's going to help you along the journey. I was exactly where you were. If you're starting your journey, sitting there listening, people going, oh, we've made it. We've got a property now. We didn't think we'd have a property. We're looking at our second one. 4 years ago, we were like, nah, let's just go and see what happens. So get in it. If you stay focused, that's what's going to get you through. Start talking to people as well.